As you already know, I sold my NC750X last year in November. The bike was almost 4 years old and had more than 61,000 kilometers, and I sold it with 6,000 euros. And now comes the question, what should I replace it with? On my community page I made a poll 3 weeks ago regarding my new bike choice. Let's check it out. So we have here the Aprilia Touareg, which received only 7% of the votes. Then Honda Transalp, 54%. V-Strom, the E850, 16%. Yamaha Tenere, 24%. So I had here actually a couple of bikes to consider buying after selling my NC750X. So what to buy actually? Let's take it step by step. The first one, it's the Aprilia Touareg, which actually it's a great bike. I can say that this bike looks awesome. Not only that it looks awesome, the specs are very nice. The colors are just amazing. 240mm suspension travel, adjustable front and rear. 187 kilograms. This is dry weight, so we can expect about 200 kilos with all the liquids. But check out this bike, it's just impressive. TFT screen, detachable ABS, 4 riding modes and so on. It looks just amazing. Just amazing bike. Just check it out. The Italians, man, they don't know about design. This bike, it's just impressive. Yeah, everything. I like actually everything about this bike. Yeah, this guy talks about a little bit of his off-road experience with the Tuareg. So actually, man, this bike is just impressive. Has quite some impressive specs when it comes to the middleweight adventure segment. It's the same engine as the Tuono 660. The Aprilia Touareg was one of my main options just before selling the NC, because actually there was no other competition on the market except the Tenere at the moment for me. So the Tuareg was actually the Tenere competitor. So I really consider that bike. I went to the dealer, I saw the bike, I make some pictures, but this was it. I hadn't had the chance to test it. It was supposed to be a off-road test in April, but unfortunately I didn't have the chance to test this bike. But for me, it's also a question of reliability, of question of maintenance, the maintenance cost, the reliability, the how reliable actually Aprilia is. So this is a question for me. I don't know. I don't know anything about reliability of Aprilia motorcycles. Therefore, this bike was not my choice, unfortunately. Although I like it, also the price was quite high, around 12,500 euro. Was too high for me at that moment, but also at this moment, when you compare with the Tenere, with the Transalp, with the Suzuki. Yeah, it's I'm still hoping to ride this bike. I'm still hoping to have a proper idea, to have a proper feeling of this bike in the future, in the near future. But yeah, I'm really curious to test it, to see how this bike is. But for the moment, this bike is not my choice. I need a bike for this season, but for this season, this bike is not my choice. It's very difficult to come after 40 years with an adventure motorcycle and expect for the people just to jump in and just buy it. At least for me, I didn't have the chance to test this bike. Yeah, so I haven't have the chance to test it, so I cannot pay more than 12,000 euros for a bike which I didn't test it. So I'm sorry, maybe next time. Before we proceed to the next option, the Yamaha Tenere, just let me present you my short video setup which I made. So we have here the complete scene where we can navigate in YouTube Everything it's actually open here. We can hear the sound. We can navigate through the browser. And of course we can change cameras. So we have this complete scene with two cameras. As you can see here, the GoPro camera is over here, the DSLR is over there. We can actually switch. We can have the one camera. Now comes the second camera for a different angle. Just one camera on the full screen, only the GoPro, which is actually placed here, but I'm open to changes. And here comes the GoPro and the camera with the background, which you can change on the back. So I'm actually working on it. So it's the first setup, the first video setup, which is like this. Yeah, and here we can actually see on the background some movies. And then yeah, we can actually, it's very flexible, this setup. It's very flexible and we're gonna use it from now on a couple of times. Okay, the Yamaha Tenere. I had the chance to test this bike 2 years ago. It made me quite an impressive, it was a really good impression which this bike left me. I was test ride it for a couple of hours on a small off-road and also on the highway. I was riding it on different many surfaces and really impressed me. It was so easy to ride it. It was so easy to handle it. Also the weight was the bike was very light. At that time I was used with the Honda NC, and as you know, 230 kilos versus 200 kilos for the Tenere was quite some difference. Especially now when I have the scooter for the city riding, I'm thinking only to ride this bike, the next bike, to ride it outside the city and make off-roads, to be able to see some different landscapes, to be able to ride different surfaces and enjoy more the nature with this new bike. So the Tenere actually was, what can I say, was a bike which I really considered, and I'm considering to buy because it's an aggressive bike. It's a bike for the kind of roads I would like to ride with. It's the kind of bike which I will go anywhere with it without a problem. So I found this bike very versatile, very easy to ride it on many different surfaces. Great handling, great suspension, very comfortable, actually unusually comfortable for this type of bike, especially when I saw the seat. I was riding it and I felt really comfortable on the seat. And of course, what we can see here, what can be done with this bike by professionals, yeah, this is the point, because this bike, and not only this bike, all the bikes are promoted as really off-road aggressive bikes that can do many things. You have here the proof. This is Paul Tyre, one of the legends, which you can see what he can do with the bike actually, and of course these bikes are promoted as aggressive off-road bikes that can do cross rivers, climb mountains, look at here, step over the fallen trees, pass aggressive rocks. Look at it. So only a professional can do this, and to be honest, most of the riders are not professionals riders. Most of the riders, like I am, I'm just a casual rider, normal rider. So, but still, you have the comfort seeing this footage. You have the comfort that you have a bike that can do this. So yeah, it's very relaxing to see what this bike can do, and what this bike actually can provide you, can give you, can offer you. But still, you need some skills. You need some skills, and you need some training, some preparation before you are able to ride such bikes in a certain way. For me, the option was the Tenere Rally. because I really like the accessory pack, which if you bought it separately, then you will find it more expensive. Because of that, I was searching and finding some solution, financially solution to purchase this bike. Also for me, the reliability factor was very important. There were actually two reasons I was not choosing this bike for. The first one is the fact that this bike, it's just slightly too high for me. I'm not saying I'm not able to ride this bike at 180, but still it doesn't give me enough confidence on the off-road, because just check it out, huh? It doesn't give me enough confidence in off-road when I'm not able to touch the ground completely, even with the riding boots, because I was riding this bike with the riding boots, and the seat height was about 890, I think 890. And also now they released this Tenere Extreme. Just check it out. This Tenere Extreme, it's has the seat even higher, 910, with a performance suspension, with a higher ground clearance. Check it out. The Tenere Extreme, announced at Lyon. This is just impressive bike. Yeah, so it really depends on what you're searching for. So I also like that this bike has a legacy from the past. It's proven to be reliable over time, over many years. The next reason I didn't choose this bike, it's and actually could be the main reason which I didn't choose it, because I think at this moment, at my actual riding skills, I'm not prepared to ride this bike, because this bike, I think it's suited more for riders which are having more experience, and I want to ride this bike on off-road. So let's say I need more and more practice, I need more experience to be able to ride this bike. Okay, I could develop this experience by buying this bike and make some tests, but for the moment I think this bike is just not for me at this moment. But I'm actually more than convinced that one day I'm gonna ride this bike and I'm gonna have one of these bikes. This I know for sure, because this is a legendary bike which I like and I would like to purchase one day. But for now, this was not my choice, unfortunately. Also, I would like to take it step by step. I've started with a mountain bike, then continued with a motorized bicycle. Then it was a moped. After the moped came the Honda NC 750X. And I think the Tenere, it's too aggressive off-road bike for what my plans are to ride in the next couple of years. But check out this version of the Tenere Rally Extreme, or the Tenere 700 Extreme. It looks just impressive, I must say. Wow, it's when you look at it, we have it also here on this Yamaha Motor website. It's just amazing how this bike looks. Check out the suspension, the 16-liter petrol tank, which actually makes this bike, I think, at this moment, a perfect choice for any adventure traveler. I think this bike can handle really tough roads and also offer great comfort on the normal roads. Even on a highway, why not, if you need to travel long distances. Yeah, I think the Yamaha, they really listen. They start to listen to their audience, to their riders, to their customers, and they released this Tenere Extreme Edition. Wow, it's really impressive. Very well done, Yamaha. Really well done. Now we have the last two bikes, the Honda Transalp and the Suzuki V-Strom 800E. Both bikes are actually really impressive, and we have to see them as a comparison, because these bikes, between these bikes, I think we're gonna have a really hard choice to make, you know, because the V-Strom, let's start with it. Let's see it, man, because it looks really impressive. The V-Strom actually looks amazing. Already we have some test rides made on the YouTube, test ride presentations already made with the V-Strom. So I really like it. I like the color line, I like the design, I like the specs. It's better in almost every chapter. It's better than Transalp, except one, which we're gonna discuss it later. But the bike is actually wow, it's very suited for off-road, with quite an impressive suspension travel. 150 millimeters is the seat. Then we have a 21 17-inch wheel, spoke wheels. It has a higher ground clearance than the Transalp. It has a longer suspension travel. It has also a full pack of electronics. It has a very good price. Here we can see it's actually almost the same price as the Transalp. For me, it was a choice to be done, to buy the V-Strom or the Transalp. So the V-Strom, the Suzuki also, it's a reliable motorcycle brand. It's not about reliability. It's a new engine, but still Suzuki quality. It's proven to be one of the best. So for me, the V-Strom, it's quite a bike to consider buying. Check out the swing arm. It's really nice how it looks. The finishing of the bike also I like. Look at the exhaust. It has a 17-inch rear wheel. When you compare with the Transalp, which has 18-inch. But still, the bike is very well balanced. But it has a very big minus, at least for me. It's very heavy. It has 230 kilos. It's much heavier than the Honda Africa Twin. I cannot understand why so heavy. Why so heavy? Because this bike would have been really a beast with at least 10 kilos lighter. And yeah, Suzuki has done really a good job with the V-Strom. I'm looking forward to test it. It was also a problem regarding the availability of this bike. I went to the dealer and the answer was there is no option, there is no possibility to order this bike. So I said, okay, it's not now, not even now, there is not a possibility to order this bike and to be able to receive it this year. So this was a really problem for me. I wanted a bike to ride at least this year. Yeah, I wanted to buy the V-Strom to check at least if it's available for buying, but unfortunately the bike was not available. So what to buy? There was no not even a possibility to pay an advance and buy this bike. So I'm really interested to find out from your side, is this bike available for order in your country? Because here in Romania, for example, the bike is not available for order, at least not now. But I see the bike for test rides in France, I think also in Italy. So I'm really curious what's the situation in the rest of the Europe. So also, is it available for buying? Yes or no? Can we buy it? What is actually the price? The price should be around 11,000 euros, 11,500 euros, something like that. So yeah, it's really interesting to find out exactly why this bike, or if this bike is available for buying, for purchase. And until the V-Strom will be available, I will stick with the Transalp. Okay, so until the V-Strom will be available and I will be ready to and prepared to ride the Tenere, and also have the money to buy the Aprilia Touareg and the confidence in the engine, I will stick with the Transalp. Yeah, it's not the perfect bike. It's not also the bike with the best specs when you compare it with the other bikes. It actually doesn't exceed on anything, but at least Honda tried it and finally released this Transalp. My mind was somehow set to wait for this Transalp. This Transalp was in my mind before, way before it's released. So yeah, they could have done really a better job. I have to be honest. The headlight, the bike doesn't look amazing from the when you look at the design of the bike. I will look forward to ride it because I will be able to ride this bike before the purchase. So I'm really actually interested to ride it and see how it feels. Okay, this will be my bike, that's for sure. The delivery date, it's estimated somewhere around June, May-June, if we're lucky. So yeah, this will be my next bike, the Honda Transalp 750. We have some presentations done already on the internet. There is even a test ride, which we're going to discuss about it in the next video, so stay tuned. Yeah, this bike was very offering to me because I had the chance to sell the bike, sell my NC unexpectedly. So after I sold my NC, I had to be very quick to give the advance for the next motorcycle. Otherwise, I would have waited for almost 1 year until I'm gonna receive my next motorcycle and lose 1 season of riding, which I didn't want it. I just wanted to buy a motorcycle, a new one, and Suzuki V-Strom was not available. The Tenere also was not for my kind, my style. So I think I've made a good choice. We have to see if it's 100% a good choice, but my feeling is I've done a good choice so far. I also have a good buying conditions, so to speak, for a good price. And the Transalp will be my next bike, and hopefully I will make the next step from the NC, and I will make a step which will allow me to go on roads which I normally couldn't make with the NC, or I could have made it, but not in such a good manner. Yeah, the Transalp has a decent specs. I like the power, 92 horsepower. It's one of the most powerful bikes. I don't think I need so much power, but anyway, it has nice power. It's nice to know it's there when you need it. The wheel size, really a good choice. 21/18 spoked wheels, which is really good. Suspension travel decent, 200 millimeters, 210 millimeters. It's the ground clearance, and overall the bikes looks decent. What I'm really concerned about is that the bike doesn't have a subframe. In case you are folding the bike on the right side, it could be a problem, but the same it's with the Tenere also, and also the V-Strom doesn't have a subframe. But still the weight also was an important factor for me. 200 kilos, 208 kilos with all the liquids. I think it's a pretty decent weight for this middleweight adventure bike. It's still not perfect. You have to consider that you add the crash bar, you had skid plate, maybe some top case, or I don't know, soft box will increase the bike's weight. But still, the Transalp, by the way, I've chosen this legendary colors, so to speak, this blue, white, red color, which are coming from the legendary old Transalp. Yeah, we have to see, we have to wait and see. look at the light. If you can see now, if you can recognize, this is more like a CB500X or EN C750X light, kind of. Yeah, I think the bike will be comfortable. And also we have to see regarding the accessories. Also the price we have to discuss in detail. There are some changes over there with the price, which I found really strange, to be honest. So this is it. This is my new bike, the Honda Transalp. I look forward to test ride it. I look forward to receive it. I look forward to see it for the first time. But I need to have some patience because the bike, it's coming about approximately in June. So hopefully in June I have the bike and I will enjoy riding it. Until then, stick around. Do you know how much time I've spent figuring out how to make this setup? Couple of days, but finally I did it, and I look forward. Please give me a hint. Maybe I should change something, or I don't know, try to move this ones, maybe here, this one here, I don't know, maybe this one smaller, bigger. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, and this setup hopefully will make the communication between us much nicer and more productive. All right.